Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Lorelai here, and today I have a special guest, Vicky from Adopt a Bunny Rabbit Rescue. We also have a special guest, Claudius. He is one of the rescue bunnies up for adoption, and he is having a very serious molt today. And a molt is when a rabbit sheds. And I kind of wanted to explore using this really cool apparatus that I've been seeing go viral on social media, which is this like vacuum slash brush combination. I don't know. Do you want to explain how it works?
Yeah, this is the newest, coolest grooming tool. So excited to have it. And it's just a little tiny vacuum, and it's quieter than a vacuum, so that's important for the animals. And it just comes with lots of bits and pieces, and one of the pieces is this Furminator, which we used to use these Furminators to groom bunnies, and they don't even make these anymore, but now it's come out with the vacuum attached to it perfectly, and you just turn it on. It's a little bit loud, but not loud enough to scare the bunnies.
So this video is not sponsored, you guys, but this particular machine is the one that Vicky has here. And did you get it on Amazon?
I got it on Amazon.
Okay, yeah. And there are many brands coming out with similar machines. So you kind of just pick what fits your budget, but Vicky really likes this one.
I like this one.
Claudius, as we mentioned, is going through a very, very big molt, and you can actually just see, if you look at Vicky's shirt up close, which you can't see in the camera, but I'll zoom in, you can see all the fur on her shirt, and if you just simply pluck Claudius, a chunk will come out, and it's not painful. It's just because it's so loose. So that's when you know your bunny is going through a molt, which they tend to go through about 4 times a year, give or take. It's kind of contingent on the seasons and what part of the hemisphere you live in. Vicky's been grooming bunnies professionally for over 20 years. It's actually been a business of hers. So if there's anybody we should be taking advice from when it comes to grooming bunnies, it's Vicky.
Not loud enough to scare the bunnies. Has a couple of speeds on it, and it's sharp, so you have to be careful. When the bunny's molting, it's got a lot of fur. You can just comb through, and the hair goes. There's cool air coming out, so it feels good on the bunny's skin, but the fur goes immediately into the vacuum and doesn't go flying all over the place, which is really great. It has a little attachment here so that when the fur gets stuck, you just push this and it sucks it right into the vacuum.
And he doesn't seem stressed at all.
Not at all. I think bunnies are always grateful to have the hair taken off of them because they're hot and bothered, and the hair coming off just allows them to feel cooler and better.
Just to show you guys the final results, this is nuts. Like, that's just another rabbit, basically. That came off of Claudius just now.
Right, and I could still be taking more off because there's more of his fur coming off right now. But if you do a little bit every day, imagine that when they're grooming themselves, they cannot swallow this. Where is the hair going? If they're,
getting ingested.
This is a lot of hair from just a 5-10 minute groom with this thing. So yeah, it's amazing.
I will link this machine in the description below. This video is not sponsored, by the way.
No, there's several different machines like this. The smallest one, this little Neobot, is the best one. The larger ones are not as powerful. Some of them are noisier, but this little one called the Neobot is your best one that comes with 5 attachments. But these are the 3 main ones that you would use when you're working with a bunny cleanup, shearing, and Furminator. We're going to use the flashlight to find the quick. Once I see the quick, it's red or pink, then I put my thumb over the quick And when I use the clippers, I just go to where my thumb is and cut.
You know they have nail clippers with flashlights built in.
They do, I know.
I feel like you're missing that one.
I do, I need that one.
Maybe that'll be your Christmas gift. So I like to file Lennon's nails. I noticed Vicky had a nail file over there. This is just a nice way to smooth out the blunt edges, and you know, I don't really want Lennon like scratching my floors or scratching me. That can be quite painful.
Or herself.
So this really like smooths things out, and we call it a bunny manicure in our households. But you can just kind of do all the nails at once. Doesn't have to be individual. But again, you can see like Claudius is quite cooperative. This is not painful. I think he's enjoying it. He's so good. As you can see, it's not super complex to groom a bunny. The nice thing is you don't have to bathe them like a dog or a cat, but you do have to maintain the grooming in other ways. So regardless of what pet you have, it's going to require some kind of maintenance, which is why I just want to highlight that bunnies are not low maintenance. And it is a little, I know it can be a little intimidating in the beginning, especially if you're a novice, you're a beginner, you're not very experienced. And it is, if you can get a friend or family member to hold your bunny for you while you're clipping their nails or what have you, that can be really helpful. But as time progresses and you gain more experience, you'll find that it just becomes second nature. And, you know, as for me, I can clip Lennon's nails like while doing a cartwheel if I wanted to, because that's eventually you just learn to do it and it doesn't become such a scary thing. You just have to practice.
There's different ways you can do it to make it easier. At the beginning, you're going to be anxious and uncomfortable, and the bunny can sense that right away and feel it, and the bunny gets scared and says, oh, this person's not going to be able to do this. So they get scared, and then they get squirmy, and then you get more anxious. So try, most of all, not to be anxious. Secondly, when you're grooming a bunny, to hold it very firmly. People are scared they're going to squish the bunny, but the bunny can be held firmly, and the more firm you hold the bunny, the more secure and safe he feels that you're not going to drop him. So that's really important. Remember that brushing is a bonding experience with your bunny. It doesn't always have to be at molting time. It can be any time. They love to be groomed, and when you're brushing them, you're grooming them. You're their mate, and they do love that.
Yeah, especially if you're doing it in a nice way. You don't want to hurt them.
No.
And you don't want to be too aggressive, because that can be too painful. And I've seen cases where, you know, bunnies have gotten really hurt through very, very aggressive brushing, and you don't want to do that.
And then they're scared, and then they don't like it, obviously.
Right. It's so important to groom your bunnies, guys, during a molt, because you don't want them ingesting all of that molt and then having it cause a blockage in their GI tract. That's an unfortunate illness in domestic bunnies that is a very common cause of death, unfortunately, that a lot of people don't detect until it's a little too late. And so you really want to help your bunnies out. They have a completely different biology than the wild bunny. Do you think that bunnies with partners are cleaner than single bunnies?
Yes, bunnies that have a mate are going to be cleaner for the most part. They're going to clean each other's eyes and ears and all kinds of things that always need doing, but one bunny can't do for himself. He can't always clean his eyes and his ears, and so if it has a mate, definitely it's going to be cleaner.
So I have made some very extensive videos on how to clip nails, how to brush, etc. And I've also made a different video with Vicky on how to shear a rabbit. Yeah, we shared an Angora in that video and included some tips and tricks there for those with long-haired bunnies. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thanks for tuning in. My question of the day to you is, how often do you groom or brush your bunnies? When Lennon is molting, I brush her every single day, basically. And when she's not molting, I don't really brush her at all. I might just pluck a few stragglers here and there. But yeah, reveal yourselves in the comments.
Yes, and remember that brushing is a a bonding experience with your bunny. It doesn't always have to be at molting time. It can be any time.
Please follow Vicki, check out her webpage, adoptabunnyrabbit.org, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.